Hey guys, how's it going? It's 8-Bit Eric. I'm here to talk about Bloodstained Curse of the Moon 2. This is the sequel to the retro-style Bloodstained game that came out a couple years ago. The Bloodstained franchise overall is a awesome homage to the classic Castlevania series. And Koji Igarashi, I'm bad with my Japanese, and Inti Creates brought back another retro-style game. So the reason why this attracted me the most is because I grew up playing the NES, and Castlevania, even though I'm still not great at it, has been one of those series that I've had a little bit of nostalgia for. So seeing a game that is basically an homage and a tribute to the original Castlevania series always makes me happy, especially in Bloodstained games, because these are picture perfect. These are like, if it had Castlevania slapped on top of it, you wouldn't know the difference. So yeah, this one has that dark gothic setting from the previous game, and it just has like a real nice aesthetic to it. I love just every single detail as far as the sprites and the artworks, the attention to detail they have in the backgrounds and the level design. You can tell that the people that made this were freaking basing it off of the original Castlevania, and of course, you know, you have one of the original Castlevania creators behind this. I gotta say, it's actually a lot of fun. Now, I played a little bit of the first one, didn't get to play it completely through, but I was like, you know what, I'm gonna sit down and take my time with this one, and I gotta say, I was impressed. So just real quick to touch on difficulty, because that's what the Castlevania series has always been known for, is its insane difficulty. There's two different gameplay options with Curse of the Moon 2. There's veteran gameplay and an easy novice type of gameplay. So veteran gameplay plays a little bit more like the original classic Castlevania style, where if you get hit, your character gets knocked back, and it's that infamous knockback where it can do cheap deaths, have you fall to your death in a pit or on spikes, or fall into other enemies and things like that. But also there's a limited amount of lives and continues with veteran gameplay. Me, I'm gonna be completely honest, I spent the majority of my time playing the easier version, which doesn't have any character knockback at all, so you're not penalized for getting hit. The cheap deaths aren't as commonplace as with veteran mode. Also, you have unlimited continues, which comes in handy. Checkpoints are a little bit more easier to obtain. Your characters come back to life. There's not a real sense of permadeath once you start to lose your lives and stuff like that. So the main story of this is you take place of a character. He's kind of like a swordsman from the Far East. His name is Zangetsu, and he has some kind of like rivalry, deep grudge against the demonkinds and the alchemists that summoned him and whatever. So it's his mission to go and defeat the demons and their stronghold and things like that. So it's kind of a classic, you know, cliche story, not really much behind it, but along the way you pick up new allies. There's three or four new characters that each have different abilities. You'll have like one guy who kind of has like a ranged attack. You have a woman who has like a spear, a big gigantic like trained robot type of character, and you're able to actually instantly switch between them. They each have their own life bar, so you can actually avoid having any of them die. Once one of them dies, you start over from the last checkpoint, but you can actually play through them, rotate them. Some of them have different abilities, like the ability to wall jump or do certain special attacks and everything. It's almost kind of like what Bucky O'Hare and Little Samson and also Castlevania 3 were like, where you have a certain amount of allies. Also, all the original characters from the original Curse of the Moon game are playable as well, but you have to unlock them as you complete the game and get like the different episodes and stuff. This has like a multiple scenario type of gameplay and stuff like that. Again, there's a variety of different gameplay options, abilities, ways to complete the games. You'll be entering a stage and you'll see like a door that you can exit that might be a shortcut, but if you don't have a certain character or a certain ability, you're not going to be able to get through that. But there's a high degree of challenge, a nice variety of gameplay options as far as the level designs go and stuff like that. The enemies, for the most part, are all true to classic Castlevania style. Some of them are actually really aggressive and have, you know, very difficult patterns to avoid when you're trying to cross over or whatever. They'll knock you off your platform and things like that. So if you're pretty well versed in the Castlevania series, You'll probably like this. Now, do you need to play the first Curse of the Moon? No. Nah, you could really jump into this without any real sense of needing to know a complete story or not. But I do recommend you go back and check that one. Now, there is 2-player local co-op available on this game. I didn't have anybody to play with, but I would like to see what this is like. You can each have your own character, conquer the stages. Like I think this would make them more accessible, especially some of the shortcuts that you can't reach in the earlier parts of the game, because if you go back and replay with stage select, you lose access to characters that you unlock. So if you play from the beginning with 2 different characters, the abilities and stuff might actually come in handy to unlock that. So there's definitely a lot of branching paths, a lot of stuff like that. Now, the difficulty, yeah, I gotta say, even with the easier mode that I did, I found myself, especially on stage 5, just having a real tough time with like the fire and the lava and everything just coming down on me. Gosh, I've never been good at these games. Now, I will say, as far as a Castlevania goes, this is pretty linear, so it's more in touch with the NES games. It's not so much like an open exploration type of element or anything like that. There's also a variety of different episodes that get unlocked as you play. I don't want to spoil too much as far as what the gameplay holds for you ahead of the time, but some of the boss fights are really creative. I like the huge giant sprites. I like the artwork. The music is phenomenal. This would be something that, like, if this came out when I was 8 years old on the NES, I would have been a fan, even though I wouldn't be that great. So I gotta say, this is a really solid game. I think they're doing fantastic with the Curse of the Moon, Bloodstained series, the retro-style video game. I mean, they got a new franchise on their hands, a modern-day classic. And if you're a Castlevania fan, of course you're gonna like this. And if you're not new to, if you're new to Castlevania, if you're not familiar to it, you know what? It still doesn't matter, because you can have a lot of fun with this game anyway. If you're a retro gamer, if you like platforming games, if you like a high degree of challenge, this has everything you would want in a game. So I would definitely recommend this. I'd probably say this is a solid 8 out of 10. Feel free to check it out. Right now, it is only digital, but they did release a limited run version of the original one physically. So I would honestly assume that a physical version is probably going to be coming eventually, if not sooner than later. So if you want to hold off, maybe feel free to, but I got a digital version and I might double dip. That's how much I liked it. But anyways, guys, thanks a lot for watching. As always, subscribe if you haven't. Comment down below, let me know your thoughts. Is this something that you're going to check out? Is this something that you think you could sink the teeth into? And I'll see you on the next video. Have a great day. Peace out. Consider supporting 8-Bit Eric on Patreon for just $1 a month. Link below in the description. You want to become part of the hashtag 8BE Nation, guys? Well, be sure to pick up your official merch, now available online. Link is below in the description. We got classic t-shirts, tank tops, hoodies, and even women's apparel. Don't forget, pick up your official merch now. And while you're at it, guys, feel free to watch the next video, or why don't you catch up on one that you might have previously missed. Thanks again, guys, for all the support. I couldn't do this without you. You guys are amazing, and don't forget to subscribe and click that like button if you are brand new. Thanks again, guys. Peace out.